Grilling season is fast approaching, and maybe it's your first time. Today I'm going to show you how to make a Boston butt, pork shoulder, pork butt, whatever you want to call it. It has many names. It's a very forgiving cut of meat, and it's a great place to start if you've never smoked anything low and slow. The meat to price ratio on this is one of the absolute best. So if you're having a large cookout, you can throw 2, 3, maybe 4 of these on the smoker, assuming you have enough room, and shred them up, and you have sandwiches for everyone. And if you don't eat pork, come on back. We're going to be grilling all summer long. I'm trying to trim down this year. However, I'm practicing moderation, and we're not skipping out on the barbecue. I'm from Tennessee. We barbecue. Pretty sure if I don't, they'll kick me out. So let's get this thing started because it takes a long time to cook. However, it's a lot of passive work, so don't let that scare you away. So this is a bone-in Boston butt. And despite the name, it comes from the front shoulder of the pig. So you'll notice on one side it has this fat cap. Now, I had this delivered yesterday. I hate having groceries delivered, and it's for this reason. If you look here, this fat cap is kind of pathetic. I like to go to the store and pick out my cuts of meat because I would prefer a fat cap that's a little more covering on the top of this and a little bit more thick. I can always take some off of it, but I can't add any to it. So like I said before, this is a very forgiving cut of meat. This one, I'm not going to do any trimming. It doesn't need any trimming. I am going to score the little bit of fat cap that I have, which just means making a cross-hatch pattern. You don't want to go too deep into the meat. Really, you just want to go through the fat cap, and there's not much of one here. So if you look here, I've gone through the fat cap only. We're starting to get to the meat. That's where I want to stop. I'm going to do this across this whole fat cap. Now I'm going to throw a binder on here that's going to help the seasoning to adhere to the pork butt. Honestly, you can probably skip this step. It's pretty tacky. The seasoning will probably stick on its own, but I've just always put a binder on. Most commonly, you'll use yellow mustard. You can use hot sauce. I've even seen people use mayo, which I don't think is necessary. So I'm just going to slather this guy up in mustard. I'm going to make sure to get some in these cracks and crevices. And I know if you're like pumping the brakes right now and you're like, I hate mustard. That's fair. I understand. But trust the process. You will not taste this mustard whatsoever when this is finished. I promise. Now for seasoning. You can go with just a regular salt, pepper, garlic, salt, pepper, whatever you want to. But I suggest finding a barbecue rub that you like because that will go on so many different things. And I have a few. Now, if you don't want to buy a pre-made barbecue rub, there are lots of recipes for that online. I don't have one that I would say is an all-star, so I'm just going to use one of my favorite rubs on this. Now, as far as getting a lot of bark on here, if you have sugar in the rub, that will of course cause some caramelization, which will give you more of a bark. And don't be afraid to go heavy on the seasoning. This is a large cut of meat. There's a lot of meat on the inside that's not going to get any seasoning. So when you shred this up at the end, it's kind of going to compensate for that fact. So go heavy on the seasoning. Okay, so I'm going to let this sit for about 30 to 40 minutes at room temp to let that seasoning start to work in a little bit while I preheat my smoker. So let's go do that. Okay, let's talk about the smoker. Most people have a pellet grill. That's what's most accessible for everybody. You can use a traditional smoker if you're more familiar with that, but starting out, you're probably not. I'm using applewood because that's what I prefer for pork, but again, this is preference, so use whatever you like or you have. I've got the smoker on at 250 degrees. I'm gonna let this go for about 5 to 6 hours to develop bark, and then we're gonna check on it. It'll hopefully be ready for dinner time. Now, if you wanna do this for the next day's lunch, you can do an overnight smoke. Start in the evening, start at the same 250, and before bedtime, after you've developed that bark, just turn it down to 2 to 205, make sure your hopper's full, and then you're just gonna let that go overnight. 2 to 205 is our target range, and it'll never go over that temp if that's what it's set at. Check it the next morning, and hopefully it's done, and you can let it rest till lunchtime. About 2 to 3 hours in, I'm gonna go ahead and spritz it with some apple cider vinegar. You can use apple juice if you want to, it's whichever you prefer. We're about 6 hours in, and the pork has reached 165 degrees and has a decent bark. I'm going to place this in an aluminum pan with some apple juice and apple cider vinegar in the bottom, insert a leave-in thermometer, and cover with aluminum foil. I'm going to let this go for a few more hours, and once the meat hits the target range from 200 to 205, I'll start checking for tenderness with the probe thermometer. Now, you may reach a point midway through here where it feels like the thermometer is not moving at all. This is called the stall. Just keep on cooking and eventually you'll get through it. We're back, and this was a 9-hour smoke. I pulled it when it hit about 203 degrees, and the probe thermometer went in with very little resistance, which is mainly what we're looking for. It could hit anywhere between the 2 to 205, but if it's still really firm, you want to let that go for a little bit longer. Now, let's talk about resting. This has been resting at room temp for about an hour. Plan well, or you do an overnight smoke, you could throw this in a cooler for up to around 4 hours. The main thing is it needs to be in that safe zone, which is above 140. The cooler is going to keep it there for a lot longer. This is a large cut of meat, so this hour on the counter, it's going to be perfectly fine. And now it's time for the big reveal. I wish you could smell this. Oh yeah. We're going to take the thermometer out. Here's the real test. Can we get the bone out clean? I mean, come on. And then just get up in there. Oh yeah. Just shreds apart. Coming back to what I said at the start of the video, look how much meat you get. If you do 2 or 3 of these, if you have a large barbecue, that's going to feed everybody. You can eat this plain, but we're going to make a sandwich. And if you're following my short series, I'm trying to thin down this year, and it's all about moderation. I'm not going to give up the things I like. I'm just going to be more mindful of how much I'm eating. So I've got a low-carb bun, some onion. I'm going to put a healthy bit of our pulled pork on here. 100 grams seems like a nice even number. And I've got some no sugar added barbecue sauce. 15 calories per serving. Look at that thing. Oh yeah. All right, and there's how you cook a Boston butt, pork shoulder, whatever you want to call it. And if you don't dine on swine, go ahead and hit the subscribe button because we've got all summer long to grill. Let me know what you'd like to see next in the comments, and we might be able to make it happen. Thanks for watching.